Good evening. So, congratulations for clearing this OCS main examination. So, you already know your dates of interview, and at Vanik we have started the interview session. So, starting from grooming to mock interview, and within the last 3 days, including today, we are able to complete mock interview for around 150 students. And based on the feedback, that because the overall performance of the students is very good, but somewhere in some domain I feel that you are lacking, and that needs some input or value addition to make you more confident for the upcoming interview at OPSC. And my observation over the last 3 days of mock interview being conducted at Vanik. So, what's my impression is that some aspects are to be given little more focus by you people. Fine. And just I will take a few minutes to tell the major things, then I will shift to the current areas, because that is the most important part of the Viva. They may ask you anything or not, but the board will definitely ask you some information regarding the happening around you and the government programs, because you will be joining the administrators to implement these schemes and be part of the policy formulation process. So, let's start. So, you all know I have the privilege to mentor students like you for the last 25 years, and my little support at this stage of interview, I feel that I am contributing my part to this society, and that is what for this I am here again with you. You feel that there is someone and one institution with you to take care of all your requirements for this Viva, and Vanik is all good planning and with all the inputs for you to improve from all aspects. Fine. So, let's start. So, what are the focus areas to be for you for the interview? The first one is your educational background, because you will definitely be asked some questions on your educational background. And you see, at the present period, so many students have changed the optionals, which is quite different from their educational background. That will be an added responsibility on you, because apart from your optionals that you have opted for the OPSC, you are to face some questions on what you have read in your graduation and post graduation. So, completely you cannot say that I have taken different optionals and I have read these subjects by academics 4 years back, 5 years back, some of you might be 10 years back, and I have forgotten them. It's unlike. So, basic things on that, because as you all know, normally there is a very rare chances of an expert from your own domain sitting as an honorable member in the board, but anyone at this age of communication and information and technology, so anyone can ask a question, because questions are MCQs available through the Google Guru. Fine. They can show the questions and ask you instantly on the board itself. So, be prepared on what you have read and what you have taken as your optionals. So, on these basic things, not that in depth, because this is not an academic interview where you will be having your career in the academics, and for that you have to be very thorough on the things, but at least some overall idea on your educational background, what subject you have read in your graduation, post graduation, and if any higher studies. And here, don't hide any information regarding your academic achievements. So, whatever you have done, please make it very clear before the interview board, because the first thing is that interview is a test of honesty, and how honestly you are presenting yourself matters a lot. Fine. So, this is what. Then second is the optionals. So, optionals, because you have appeared the main examination in the month of January, and hardly 8 months have gone, and it is expected that those subjects are very fresh in your mind, and you have read the subject up to the post graduation standard. So, possibility of some questions on your optional is there. So, have an overall idea on the optional questions, some FAQs, prepare on that. Then most important thing is, because you will be joining the administration, and you must have the very clear cut idea about your district, because you know once you have interest, this visualizes or this makes it clear that you know about your districts. So where you will be posted, you will have developed keen interest to know the district. So you can implement the programs or know the pros and cons or the plus and minus of the districts or what the special requirement of the districts. So and present your districts, not like, because in the last 3 days I am observing that students are telling about the districts, they are telling it, but it is unlike that. Don't just say some information regarding your district, rather visualize your district before the interview board. So through your voice or through your words, you try to visualize the districts before the interview board. Fine. So present it in such a way that as if you are showing your district to the interview board. Fine. It's not that sharing information or answering some questions regarding your district. So go on saying, and who know better than you about your districts. Fine. आपण मानंको जिला विषय रे आपण मानंको ठारू अधिका किए जानिछि. This keep that in mind. I know the best on my district and I am prepared on all aspects of my district. Geography, history, culture, literature, personality, economy, recent development. Fine. Every aspect and places of tourist interest. So that place of tourism, culture, whatever, industry, minerals, every aspect, and if something interesting about your district, unique, please add to that, and why your district is in news if in the recent period, that you are to add. It's like you are presenting your district before the board and you are visualizing your district before the board through your words. You are visualizing it, not just saying sharing some information, rather visualizing it. That will make your presentation very interesting, and they will know that what they have not known over the years. That should be your idea, that I know the best on my districts, so let you visualize my district through my words. Fine. Then comes hobby and interest area. Some students have confusion on this. So there are 3 things in the interview that the application that will submit. One is hobby, one is extracurricular, one is special achievements, okay, or area of interest. So distinguish them all, fine, and that gives the other side of personality. Fine. Hobby relaxes you. Extracurricular, so definitely what you have done your school and college beyond academics. Fine. And area of interest, any domain that you have an interest. So prepare few informations on these things. Fine. Then comes special extracurricular activity. So what you have done during the school and colleges. Fine. Then special achievement, if any, don't hide it. You may be asked a question starting from school to present day. If you have any extra achievement or any special achievement, please add it. Fine. That will add to your credibility. Fine. You are not just confined to your books and not just worried for your job, but apart from that preparation, you are doing a lot other things. You are a completely engaged person and in search of different pursuit. Then comes skill with you. There is a confusion among the students. Skill. So skill helps you in your job. Someone told, I am honest, I am a team leader, I have a my personality is so very good, but these are the skills with you. Skill is that helps you in your job. The most important skill required for an administrator is what you know, your communication skill, because you will be in the front of the people, whether in the block, in the tahsil, in the collectorate, in the tax department, in the police, or in any of these cooperative. Fine. So in your front are the common people. So how you are communicating, the most important skill with you is your communication skill. How will you communicate? Fine. आपण माने जानि जंदी तो आम कथा कहबा पर बहुत जिंस डिपेंड करे. फाइन. तो एठी भी अमृत अछि, एठी भी विष अछि. तो आमे केमती कथा कहूचे जे आमे 50 100 200 लोक आम आगर अछंती, आमे तांको पसिफाई करछे थ्रू आवर वर्ड्स. That is tested here. So that is a skill. I am a good communicator. I can communicate to the people in such a way that I will be able to cool them down through my words, although they are agitated for some issue or the other. That is what. Then comes other skill. So some skills are required for an administrator, like I know computer. In the present era, in the era of technology, we will be operating that through the digital mode, and all the government program have to send the reports and government programs, all these things, and how far you are computer literate, that is the skill with you. Then skill like driving, skill like swimming, skill like riding, so all these are important, which will definitely add to your job performance. They are the skill. Fine, be specific on that. Fine. Then response. So what is your response mechanism? Okay, means, so when the interview asks you a question, don't be in a hurry to answer it. You can take 20-30 seconds to think over. Instantly answering may put you in some confusion because you have not thought about the answer before answering. Just you listen the question, half answering, so half listening, you start answering. The most important thing is that listen the question, take a pause, think over 20 seconds, start replying. Then what is the question, what is my response to this? Even if the interview board hit you on a particular point, be cool. That is tested. That is tested. That is the personality. Even in extreme situation, I will not be taking some decision or telling something which is wrong. Fine. Then comes communication skill, we have discussed it. Then the personality, what personality you, from toe to the top, because the first impression lasts longer. Okay, so we always tell, come to the interview board, so the message we send, what we send, your presence in the interview, informal interview dressing will be highly appreciated. This is the word I put in the message. What? Your presence in the mock interview, informal interview dressing will be highly appreciated. That means what? We want to see you in your full personality. So we can see, the board can give you the comment. So improve this. So wear a tie. So wear a jacket or wear a blazer. Are suitable to you, but present yourself in your best. So more improvement feedback can be given, or any lacuna in your personality can be identified by the board over here, and that feedback is given to you, so you can improve in the coming 3, 4, 5 days left for interview, and those who are late have more time. And one more thing before winding this first slide, what is the thing? So many of you are very much nervous that we are left with very few days. Friends, so this is for all, and someone has the interview on 19th and someone has on 29th. Compare it. The advantage for being on 19th, you know, you are very fresh, board is very fresh, they have no one to compare with you. Fine, because the board is very mentally, they have not assessed anyone. You are the first team or the first day, so 18 in 3 by 3 boards. Okay, so the number, okay, so that is what, so you are the fresh, and the board is also fresh in fresh mind. So there is no comparison between that boy or girl has done it that way, so this boy, so no, he's not doing well. So first day, in the first 2-3 days, very less comparison will be there. Fine, and towards the end, lot of comparison, because on the last day they might have interviewed 700 students, so they know the performance of them. So while judging, they will compare. Okay, but on the last day, those who are there, they are getting another 10 days time. But so they are getting 700 competents to be compared. Is not it balancing? The first day and the last day. So everyone has advantage, everyone has some challenges. Don't worry for that. And my simple request is, for an interview of 15-20 minutes, you are even today left with more than 100 hours. More than 100 hours. Fine. If you on an average give 12 to 15 hours, that is what you have to give right now. Okay. So you are left with minimum 100 hours. 100 hours for an interview of 20 minutes is good enough. So feel confident that you have been shortlisted among more than 50,000 who appeared the preliminary. You have been shortlisted from around 5,000 who appear the main, to the rank of only 800, less than 800. So you have the strength. Right now, it is not the test of your knowledge, the test of your response, your personality, and your reply to the board. How you are replying with a smile in the face, with confidence, even without not knowing the right answer. You are saying sorry in such a way that through that you are creating an impression that you are able to handle a situation. Fine. So this all in the first slide. Let's see. So what the board, apart from these things, so what is usually asked in the interview? Fine. This aspect we will be discussing. Fine. You know, since we start the session, when I meet the first class on the last Saturday, the day after the result is published. So I told you, please read the current affairs. Update yourself daily from the news sites. Read a newspaper. You know that you appear the main examination where so nearly 250 marks are purely current based. That means you are prepared. You have a background on that. The things are there in your mind. So for the last 6, 7, 8 months, so you have, some of you are in touch, some of you are not in touch. Brush it off. Sharpen it. Because the board may ask you anything or not, but they will definitely ask you some information on the developments, on happening around you, on the government schemes, because that is what they might have seen in the news the day before, or have come across while in the morning with the morning tea while going to the newspaper, because the board will also prepare itself for the interview. Am I clear? So whatever they may ask you or not, but the possibility of asking on the developments is 90% there. So you have to prepare, and that present you how far you are aware, you are alert, and you are having a response toward that, the development going on around you. Fine. That is what from today till your date of interview, update yourself on a very daily basis. And to make it little more confirm, you can do one thing. You can just go 1 to 2 months back from any source that you were covering during your main examination. Things are right now available in the online mode, in the offline mode, it is available right now. And we have circulated you around 50 pages of materials with around 200 topics, burning topics on international development, bilateral issues, national development, fine. And in the subsequent period, we will definitely share more information on you, on that group that have been created for your, means to provide information to you. We have created the group, and definitely more informations will be shared with you on a regular basis till the last day of your interview. So be confident on that, read it, formulate take 3-4 news and get ready. Normally what is the question? Tell about the developments around you, or what are the main news today? Have you gone to the newspaper? So what are the headlines today? So at least collect 3-4 news on a daily basis and try to speak it out. Not the depth, but at least the overall things, because the board members being senior, learned persons, so they have the habit of going to the newspaper and watching the news on a very regular basis, because that is their habit, part of their life. Fine. And definitely, so they will ask you some on this. Fine. So what normally central government welfare schemes, because you are in the field to implement it. You are in the field to implement all the government welfare programs. So obviously you have to know it. Fine. Then comes state government programs. Parallelly, the state governments are launching programs, and very soon, certainly we are going to share these 2 programs with you, fine, in PDF format. Then recent legislative enactment by the Parliament of India and also by the state of Odisha. Any new enactment made by the Parliament or in our assembly, and any recent judicial verdict. So yesterday was a news that about the masjid issue. Fine, the temple or masjid, and the court verdict on that. That if that something happens on that, that may be a question. Fine, and so what is the major judicial pronouncement, and in case any major incident took place in the recent past, natural calamity, any big issue, some agitation, okay. So in or good news or any bad news, you have to be very careful about that, because that will be asked to you there is a possibility. Fine. So going to the details of the things. Fine. So in international issue, what you are supposed to cover? So international summits. All you know, there are so many organizations. So like BRICS, SCO, SARC, ASEAN, European Union, okay, I2, U2, okay. So many. So which are in news at present. Because if you see the international institutions, okay, so there are hundreds of such, but recent summits, BRICS summit, SCO summit, fine, OPEC summit, so that International Solar Alliance, that conference, okay, G20 summit, fine. So all these summits, what the organization is and the recent summits, and so some 1, 2, 3 outcomes of the summit you are to prepare. Then international institutions in news, like why the UN failed in case of Russia and Ukraine, in case of China and Taiwan, okay, in case of Afghanistan, okay, or other instances. So international institutions which are in news, like that NATO or the European Union. Fine, all these you are to have 2, 3 information. So you are not silent. I am just seeing in the last 3 days, so many of you may not be, due to the lack of time with you, you are unable to update, but it is a must. Please, it will request on my side, please do this, update on these things, fine. And the news hotspots of the world, what is happening around the world are some places which are in hotspots, okay. So these are the area that you have to prepare, fine. Then moving further, so to this bilateral part, you can say, so Indian foreign policy, what is the new dynamism, what is the foreign policy and what is the new dynamism in Indian foreign policy with a new government, and this approach is changing. India is no more a country which is standing behind at international forum. India is at the forefront, okay, at the front of all international events. That image changeover is due to a strong foreign policy. Because you know, our projection makes us visible before others, and the government is able to project it proactively, pushing us. That is why we became a power. But the change, same policy, same office, but leadership, that is make the transformation. So India image is on a changing road. We are becoming recognized, accepted, more accepted around the world. We are not in the second or third row of the international summits, we are in the front. Okay, other leaders, global leaders are right now, they are happy clicking a photo standing in our side of our leaders. That is the transformation or makeover of India. So think of that, fine. Then Panchashila, how it is relevant. Okay, then India in the 21st century, what is our plan? Fine, the 21st century will be the century of the Asian countries. And who are in Asia? India and China. Japan started decaying. And among these two countries, who is more credible before the global community? It is India, not China. Fine. And the role of China has been more diluted because in the pandemic, post-pandemic period. And India's credibility get enhanced because of our vaccine diplomacy. Vaccine Maitri, okay, COVAX, Gavi, we supported all the programs. We saved the people, we saved their life, and our credibility get enhanced. A country like India, but the apprehension of others. So half of Indian population are going to die out of this pandemic. But we shaped not only ourselves, but the global community through our vaccines. Given free of cost, that is what our model. We are supplying food grain to so many countries in distress. There is a time when we are dependent on the food supply of other countries. But right now, we are a food surplus country. We are supplying food need of the people. Fine, that is what. Okay, India is a global power, but the prospect, the biggest prospect is demographic dividend. Our population, 55% is in the working age. That is the biggest asset with us, along with what has been given by nature. We have plenty of natural resources. We have added our human resources to it, technology to it. So the next, in this century, we'll have a transformation, and that isn't visible right now because we have upgraded to the 5th largest economy in the world. And so in course of time, so our dream to be the number 1 nation will be definitely fulfilled. So what are the prospect? One is demography, the demographic dividend. Second is what nature has given us. Third is our big market. Then fourth is our literacy level, improving the technology and our bent of mind. And most important is that our vastness, geographical vastness is one more factor. These are the prospect with us. Challenges, some hostile neighbors. Okay, and to our prospect is that our stable leadership. But the biggest challenge is the hostile neighbors who are unable to bear us. They are not at all, they are much worried about our achievements, starting from space to sanitation. All are worried how India is able to march this fast. So presently that way are the things to add value to the things. Say this emphatically. Government after government is going on in value addition, in improving, and that has led to this transformation. Okay, what authenticity with you are telling, that matters a lot because you have plenty of facts. Plenty. It is not an interview, is not about the facts. Remember this, you are unable to know a fact and figure, forget it, but you know the things. Facts and figures are the numbers. That does not matter because you have already applied the preliminary where factual information have been shared and you have done it well, and you have cleared the main where analytical part is also over. This is whether you know this, how you can relate to the society. Fine. Then comes, so foreign policy of India under Modi. The present Prime Minister, due to his dynamic personality, has brought a big transformation of Indian image around the world. Okay, so that is what is the charismatic leadership in the Prime Minister, and so also in our Chief Minister, for which we are being praised around, applauded around the world. So add to that. Fine. Then comes our policy, empathy towards our neighborhood. You see this particular point. What is this? So neighborhood first. What is this? Through this policy, we try to build a good neighborhood. Because a friendly neighborhood is always a stepping stone towards prosperity. Because that ensures peace, and peace leads to prosperity. We want a peaceful, friendly neighborhood. And for that, we are trying to build good relationship with all our immediate neighbors, from SAARC to BIMSTEC, and expanding that to Asian region. Because the land of Buddha and Gandhi is not at all going on the violent way, on aggressive mode, having imperialist tendency to do any harm to others. That is not in our culture. And we want to help each and everyone in need. From Sri Lanka to Afghanistan, we are helpful to all, although it is not in their history towards us. Fine. So say like this. Okay. Then comes lookist to artist. We have a policy of lookist launched by P.V. Narasimha Rao, and when the new government take over, so we transform it to artist. Emphasizing or enhancing, upgrading our relationship with our immediate eastern neighborhood. So because their level of development have impressed us. Through this economic development, some of them became Asian tigers, and we want to be a global tiger, following the footprints. So that is what. So what strategic relation we have added to trade relation. Security was added to economic development. Fine. That is what. Okay. Look is to artist. Fine. Then what else? Look west towards the West Asian countries and the Western countries. Then focus Africa. Africa is a land of more than 54 countries. So what is their policy? We have big prospect in Africa. Minerals, market, investment. Everywhere we have a scope. And our link with Africa since the day of Gandhi and Mandela will definitely help us in accessing the African market, because we are more trustworthy than any other in the world. We have an empathy towards them during many of their freedom struggle. They follow our own path, the Gandhian method of struggle, and right now we are helping them in education, healthcare and other domains, and information communication technology where we are a master. That is what. Then comes India and UN reforms. So why? United Nations, so since its creation, so has favored few, the P5. And right now, India as a global power is demanding its share. And along with India, Japan, Germany, etc. have joined together. And they are putting towards the UN reforms, the issue on that. Please prepare on that. Fine. Then comes the reforms in World Bank and IMF. Fine. Because these global financial institutions created in the post-Second World period, they are created for what? They are created to help in development, reconstruction activity to the European countries, but in subsequent period, they became profitable institutions by lending to the poor countries of Asia and Africa. And India is a big borrower from World Bank, but India is a credible borrower. We are not a defaulter at all. And similar is the case of International Monetary Fund, which have come to our rescue in our balance of payment crisis. They are two different institutions for two different purposes. In the recent past, so we are able to create what? That New Development Bank or the BRICS Bank. We are also a member of the Chinese promoted Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Okay, as a reaction to the domination of the West over the World Bank and IMF. So what is the things? Two new banks created. One is the NDB, New Development Bank of BRICS. Fine. And another is AIIB, led by China. Fine. These two are created as a reaction to the Western domination over IMF and World Bank. Okay, that is what. So know about these things. And India and the WTO issue. World Trade Organization is created to make the world free, the trade free around the world. But in the post-WTO period, there is emergence of multiple regional trading agreements. Free trade agreement, comprehensive economic partnership agreement, comprehensive economic cooperation agreement, regional trading agreements. Why they are mushrooming? Because WTO has failed in protecting the interest of the developing countries. That's why, so the developing countries are formulating or signing into regional trading agreements, comprehensive economic partnership agreement. That is what you are to. And WTO issue like the subsidies, like the TRIPS and TRIMS, okay, like the agreement on agriculture, the sanitary phytosanitary measures, the green box, blue box and amber box subsidies, the last WTO summit. Fine. All these held at Geneva. Fishery is a major issue. Okay, so you are to, because after a long gap due to pandemic, WTO summit was held at the WTO headquarters in Geneva, the 12th WTO Ministerial Conference. You should have some idea on that, or the major issues raised there. Then comes the International Solar Alliance promoted by India, one sun, one earth, one grid. Fine. So to solve the future energy crisis, because you know at the last COP26 at Glasgow. Okay, so what? The news is COP26 at Glasgow. What is the major outcome? Is net zero emission. So India declared by 2070 it will be able to achieve the net zero emission level, and by 2030 50% of this net zero emission target, and for that we have the target that 500 gigawatt of renewable energy, clean energy will be produced by India. And out of that, so a major part will be solar power. And government has launched so many programs for that to fulfill our commitment, because we are worried not for ourselves but for the humanity. For the humanity, it's not, because climate change is the biggest challenge from agriculture to healthcare, and we through combined efforts can take this challenge. No one country, neither rich nor the poor, can handle it or face it alone. Whatever, neither the biggest, the largest, the richest, the strongest, nor the poorest. Only a combined effort is required, because it is one. We are just a small entity here, present in this way. That's the cooperation required. Specific program like our FAME program, our solar mission, okay. So that SDG goals all are interlinked to this climate change issues. So be prepared on this. Fine. So details, some things will be shared to you in the group to the news items, but I am just showing you that what are the probable areas where the question may be asked to you. Fine. Then moving further, it is science and technology, the domain of science and technology, because you are always curious. So new strategy of space research. You know, so very interesting thing is that recently ISRO has tested. So what they have tested? So we have major is PSLV and GSLV, but recently we have tried for SSLV, and through this we try to launch the Azadi Sat. This small satellite launch vehicle can be built in 7 days at a fraction of the cost, and the rising space market can be handled by this, cheaper, easy to build, easy to launch, and wider use. So this small satellite launch vehicle will bring revolution in Indian space market, as a space market. There is a time, so India was dependent on others to launch the satellite, but at present India's PSLV, the most trusted engine, this one PSLV is India's most trusted launch vehicle. It has brought a market for India space domain around the world. Fine. And the semi-success of SSLV has opened a new hope for India, that India is going to be the future space power. Space will be able to generate huge amount credibly by this. Okay, so from space and use of space in communication, in providing services, in banking, in healthcare, in our daily life, make it space program, satellite, launch vehicle, technology, development, ISRO, anthrics, all these issues. Then comes to, and the recent most important thing is that privatization, entry of private sector in the space domain. Earlier, space was a complete government monopoly, but recently, success of SpaceX in America has encouraged government of India to allow private sector participation in the space domain, that you are to. Then defense, so launching of the recently built, indigenously built aircraft carrier at 20,000 crore INS Krant has transformed Indian image to a small club of nations who have the capability to indigenously build aircraft carriers. We are building frigates, we are building submarines, we are building aircraft carriers, and that is part of what? Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India. This is defense research and the contribution of DRDO and the defense public sector entities, they have been diversified. Fine. Then come to nuclear research, because for peace and for defense, then health and vaccine. So India image enhanced substantially in the world. For what you know? Because we provided life-saving vaccines, not only to our people, but to the world. And recently, the vaccine against cancer, cervical cancer, which affects, which kill 8 ladies per minute, we are able to develop. And when the vaccine is available globally by the MNC at a cost of around 11,000 rupees, we have planned to market it at 200 to 400 rupees. That can save a lakhs of Indian mother and sister and daughters from this. So that is what we are doing research on vaccine and in healthcare, that TB Mukt Bharat, the new slogan. Polio Mukt Bharat, they are able to achieve. Next is TB Mukt Bharat. Okay, that is what Eat Right movement. Okay, health issues, that is what. Then biotechnology and nanotechnology have a big prospect, and the research on that, what we have done in this domain may be questions for you. Fine. Then moving forward, so economic and financial issue. Okay, so this is very important because economy is the most dynamic part right now, not only in India but around the world. During the pandemic, so what we have seen, you see, we have seen, it is very clear. So it is very important one. So our economy is going like this. We started falling, then we started improving, then we are marching. If you see this is called the V-shape economic recovery. This part is called recession. This part is called recovery. And this is what our GDP growth rate right now, more than 13% in the first quarter of the financial year, plus, as per the report. No country is able to achieve at that rate, but we are able to achieve. That is Indian spirit. Fine. So we have been able to start the recovery. Pandemic has a big impact on our economy. Every section suffered. Everyone. But we are the country with resilience. We are able to not only defeat the coronavirus, but also start our economic improvement at the fastest rate within a certain time span. That is what. Then recession and recovery, as I told, India the 5th largest economy, recent news. That is very important. So what led to this? So this is India, the rising India, now being the 5th largest economy in the world. That is what. Okay, fine. Okay, so someone has asked the question, so in this, that how can I develop my communication skill? Friends, communication is the tool that we make ourselves present to the other side, and language is not a barrier. Many of you have the confusion that I may not be able to communicate in English before the board, so I am apprehensive. Forget that. Forget that. That's not at all a barrier. Someone has given a query, someone replied to that. I'll take just 2 minutes time. So language is a barrier. So it's not a barrier at all. It is a medium of communication. Whatever way, and we are in Odisha. 99% of your daily activity in the office after you join, you will be interacting in Odia. But the interview board will appreciate if you know both Odia and English, because you are an officer. You have to communicate to the higher up. The higher up may come from the central government on specific issues. There is natural calamity, central team on a visit to your area. You have to say the details to them, and you are not that comfortable in the English language. That is also tested, but in the interview they give you the scope to reply in Odia. I mean, don't worry for that. On the communication skill, so you are communicating well in Odia, feel comfortable. So let the take the permission and reply in Odia. Many students have qualified examination replying in Odia. Am I clear? So this question, okay, by this is by the Dipu Dalbahera. Okay, sir, how can I develop my communication skill? Dipu, don't worry for that. So it is a medium of expressing yourself with the other. Don't at all worry. You can take permission and reply in Odia comfortably, and will definitely do well in the interview. But if you are able to communicate in both Odia and English, it will create a better impression. But even if you are unable to communicate in English, but you know the answer, okay, take the permission and reply in Odia. Am I clear? Hope language will not be a barrier for you in the interview. I know many, because quite often I am in touch for the last, from 97 till this year, 1997, I am in this domain. I know thousands of students who appeared at the examination, and many have shared their experience with me, and many have cleared this examination answering in Odia and combining Odia and English, and the boards are very cooperative. No board has ever denied, no, you cannot say in Odia. Never ever have any board denied, no, you are not permitted to communicate in any other language than Odia, than English. You can answer in Odia, feel free on that angle, but try to say small sentences, simple sentences in English where you can feel comfortable. Fine. Okay. Then there is one more query. So I joined a little late in the live session, and can you please help me with the, you see, dress code? What sweet to the best, yaar. Okay. You see, there is some query to me in the last 3-4 days. Sir, shall I wear a blazer? Shall I wear sari or chudidar? Fine. Interview is a very special occasion in your life. Yes or no? Is it normal? No. It is a special occasion in your life. And you present yourself in the best dress. That is gentle. That is formal. Wherever you feel comfortable. Normal pant and shirt. Okay. Even without tie, majority will go like that. Those who feel smart in tie and comfortable, wear a tie. Those who feel more smart, wearing a blazer, wear it here. OPSC is central air conditioned. You will not feel the heat over there. So don't have any panic on that. Okay, wear the best dress, but formal. No gorgeous, no style, formal, because you will be bureaucrats. And for the female candidates, wear sari or dress which you are most comfortable, but should be formal, not gorgeous. Okay, so that is what. And any other query on that, so we can discuss that either face to face or over telephone. Fine, that's good. Hope that point is clear. Then taking the next one. So can I attend the more than one mock interview at Vanik? Why we are giving the scope to attend 5 here? Why 1? Come on, attend all the 5. Organization provide you 5 mock interview. We have a plan for 3 to 5. What prevents you to attend it? It's free. Come and join. Okay, we will be happy if we mentor you in your success. And we have prepared that every day we are arranging 2 to 3 boards, and the boards spread around 10 hours. Today even the board was there for 8 hours. 3 boards sitting from 10 am till 6 pm with a hardly 15 minutes break for the lunch. So that's not a big issue. So till you feel that I am confident, we are here. Okay, so feel free, because the program is free. Come, get enriched. We will be happy if you succeed, and hope that with our mentoring you will definitely succeed. If we follow what we say to you honestly. If you follow what we say to you honestly. Because trust is something which should be 100%. Trust should be 100%. 99.9% trust is equal to 0. Equal to 0. Fine. If you trust someone or some institution, trust 100% and see the result. Fine. Okay, then come to this. So coming to the next one. So because in this current affairs, this discussion, what you are supposed to know, that some information regarding the budget. Okay, because budget has made so many provisions. Who presented budget? What is special about this year's budget? What are the programs of this budget? Bank privatization, insurance privatization, okay, PSU disinvestment, fine. So many Gati Shakti, okay. So lot many things, pillars of the budget. And the finance minister present the budget wearing a Sambalpuri sari. She has taken the name of an industry in Odisha like the Nilachal Ispat Nigam Limited in her budget speech, because that is going to be privatized. All these things, please remember. And the special provision regarding railway for Odisha, because the Honorable Railway Minister is from Odisha. So definitely this year Odisha has got more allocation for railway. So all these information on budget you are to, some information on that you should remember to make you more comfortable. Fine. Then Gati Shakti, infrastructure pipeline, okay, national asset monetization. So these are the things that are important and you should collect some information on these things. We have shared a lot through the material provided to you in 3-4 volumes, and subsequently much more will be uploaded in your group, okay, that the group created for you. So we'll add all the information on daily basis till the interview date, last interview date in your group regularly from the coming in a day or two. Every day things will be uploaded in your group. So to make you more aware about the developments, to make you feel more confident about this. Fine. Then coming to the next, okay, cryptocurrency, okay, like the Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are much in news. And what are the provisions in budget? Earlier crypto was banned. RBI RBI banned crypto dealing. Supreme Court rejected it and government accepted, and 30% tax on crypto earnings. The new provision in the budget. Learn it. What is crypto? How it operates? How is it different? And then the CBDC, central bank digital currency. Is it same as crypto? No, different. RBI will issue it, regulate it, fine, and control its value. That is different. Learn this. Then banking reforms like the bank digitization, opening 75 digital banks, fine. So, and bank privatization. Government had decided to go for large scale bank privatization and merger. Biggest challenge for the banking sector, the NPA, fine, and the role of RBI, because Shaktikant Das, a person from Odisha, is heading the RBI in his second term. Fine. Then comes agriculture reforms, because government has a target to go for what? Doubling farmers' income. Are the provisions made, because the last Farm Act were taken back by the government due to opposition. But government has sincerely been trying to improve the socio-economic status and standard of the farmers. Are the measures taken from PM Kisan to the last program launch in insurance, market, e-NAM, fine. So all these are added, and agriculture is going to bring the big transformation. Apart from food security, people engaged in agriculture should lead a life of dignity. The farmer producer organization, FPO, is being promoted right now. Okay, what is this? What are the things there? It is called FPO, farmer producer organization. Government has the target to create 10,000 FPOs in this year's budget to add more value to the farmers. Fine. Then the union budget, as I told, the provisions in the budget. You should have some at least 10-20 information on the budget of this year, economic survey and budget. Fine, it's the economic aspect. Lot more are there, we will discuss some other in subsequent period, but to start with, because I don't want to overburden you on a single day. These are the areas, around 100 domains or issues which I am highlighting, which are most probable to be questions. In the budget, what is new? Apart from Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, this year it is Parvat Mala. Ropeway development in the difficult terrain, Himachal Pradesh, northeastern states, where building a road is difficult. Government has a plan called the Parvat Mala project. We have National Waterway, we have the National Roadways program, National Highway Development program, fine. Rural roads to the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, fine. We have railway development, okay. Not only bullet train, but also dedicated freight corridor, fine. But apart from that, so we are also developing ropeway through the Parvat Mala program. So remember these things to the budget, fine. Then moving next is government programs. Because in an welfare country like India, government is bound to launch welfare programs. Socio-economic development programs government has to launch. Not only to be popular, but to fulfill the mandate of being a welfare country. In this slide you can say PM3, Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India, the most recent launch program. Apart from what? So earlier the government has come with the National Education Policy NEP 2020. After a long gap, this is the new policy in the new millennium. In the 21st century, this is the first education policy launched in the 21st century. Fine. And what are the provisions? From the 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern changed to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Ministry changed from HRD to education. 6% of the GDP will be spent on education. Lot many multidisciplinary study, preschool, fine, and creating some world standard educational institutions. Vocationalization are the focus. Meru program, assessment, upgradation, tagging. Remember these things on education. And the PM3 for transformation, creating or upgrading infrastructures in the existing Kendra Vidyalayas, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, state government run schools, and urban local and rural local body run schools will be upgraded. And similar program is also being run in Odisha called the 5T transformation. For the last 1 year, we have launched in Odisha, we have learned it is popular known as the 5T school transformation program. Where the infrastructures are being built. Classrooms, smart class, smart board, library, laboratory, drinking water, sanitation, hygiene, green environment, all are being created by the state government of Odisha to the 5T school transformation. Government is allocating lakhs of rupees per school for upgrading. And similar program is being launched by the central government through the PM3, Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India. So around 14,500 schools will be upgraded. That includes KV, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, state government schools, and school run by urban local and rural local bodies. And all these to this program will be what? So there will be brownfield projects. Why you know? Existing schools will be upgraded. Nothing new project will be taken, existing schools will be upgraded. Then programs are like the smart city, Bhubaneswar, Raurkela and Odisha. Okay, smart city means creating international standard urban infrastructure in some selected cities across the country, and hundreds of cities have been selected. And government, central government, the state government, the urban local bodies, along with private sector participation will upgrade this. Simple. You are not to know a lot on these schemes. Please ensure that you have 3 to 4 information on the specific scheme. That is what you are aware about the scheme. That is to be communicated to the interview board. Not the detail. It is not the main examination where you have to write around 200 words on the particular issue. But in 30 seconds, what you can say? Hardly you can say 3 points. Smart City is a program launched by the central government, okay, under which the central government plan to create international standard urban infrastructure in 100 selected cities across India. And in that 100, in Odisha, we have 2 cities, one Bhubaneswar, one Rourkela. And the work has started in Bhubaneswar, which you might have seen. Then come to that Startup India for what? Developing entrepreneurship. Manufacturing, servicing, trading. Create entrepreneurship. The hidden talent should be boosted through mentoring, financing. And Stand Up India, the same program for SC, ST and the female entrepreneurs. Because India needs entrepreneurs to overcome the import trend with the manufacturers, the service providers, with the sellers, that India want to do through this Startup and Stand Up India. Digital India, present era of digitization. So, we are a country having a reputation of being what? Software, master in software. So that we are applying the program for making the country digital to the last village of the country. Till date, we have taken it to the panchayat level. The panchayat has been connected through optical fiber cables. We want to bring it to each villages. Okay, and smartphone has revolutionized our life. And government's JAM program, you must be knowing the program called JAM, Jandan, Aadhaar and Mobile. This JAM trio has brought transformation in Jandan account, Aadhaar identity, mobile, communication device. Be such aware, not to tell lot many things to the board, but just in brief, 2-3 information. Then comes the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, the most successful program launched by the government to empower the people financially, providing them access to financial institutions, to opening a no-frill account. More than 46 crores account been opened, and the poor are able to save more than 1.84 lakh crore rupees to Jan Dhan accounts. And Jan Dhan account facilitated what? DBT, direct benefit transfer. Pension, stipend, scholarship, prices, all credited to the Jan Dhan account without pilferages. That is the benefit. Then comes PM Kisan for the farmers, 6,000 rupees in 3 installments, provided to empower him to purchase better agricultural inputs. Remember this. What is this? PM Kisan has been launched to provide the money to the farmers to procure better agricultural inputs, better seed, better fertilizer or organic access, pay the water charges, so he can increase his productivity, by which his living standard will improve, because government has the big target of doubling farmers' income. Fine. Let's take some query. Okay, it is, can I attend the mock then more? Okay, it is there. Okay, so fine. This is what, so I have attended all the queries, then come back. So to this, then PM Kisan, and at Odisha we have a program called, what is the program? Kalya, Krishak Assistance for Livelihood and Income Augmentation. We'll deal in separately while covering that. Fine. So these schemes you are 2. Then comes Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Then the insurance, premium of 1.5%, 2%, 5% for the Kharif, Rabi and horticultural crops. Fine. And the nodal agency is LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. We'll learn it. Then comes soil health card. Then FPO, farmer producer organizations, and ENAM will bring revolution and help in doubling farmers' income. Then zero-based natural farming to go for organic way. Sikkim became the first organic state in the country. Others are following it. Okay, because organic farming not only save our life but also save our environment, save our future. Then comes Paramparagath Krishi Vikas Yojana. Okay, and what is Make in India? To Make in India is a program to develop India as an international. Just say one sentence to make your idea very clear for the interview board. No need of elaboration. What is Make in India? Make India to develop India into an international manufacturing hub. In support of domestic and foreign companies and capitals, technology. And the biggest success to Make in India is in the defense sector. That is what. Fine. So, moving forward, MSME sector, the growth engine, low technology, less capital, more employment, less risk. It's making the MSME the new growth engine of India, not big industry. Then comes the production link incentive granted in the post-pandemic period to encourage Indian manufacturers to produce, because to reduce our import dependence. That's what government is giving crores of rupees to the manufacturers. Produce, provide, take the financial incentive to make you globally competitive. Pharmaceuticals, electronics, telecommunication. So many sectors have been included under the production link incentive schemes. Fine. Then comes Awas Yojana, housing for all. International commitment under the MDG and followed by the Sustainable Development Goal of UNGA as a provision of housing, and to fulfill that there is a central program called Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and a parallel program Biju Pakka Ghar Yojana run by the state government to provide house dwelling units to each and every homeless person. No one will be without a roof over his head in the country, because India is rising. We cannot say we are a developed country with some people living without a roof over their head of their own. Fine. Then comes Sonidhi for the street vendors. The pandemic has made the street vendors completely pauper. They lost their seed capital, which they are using every day to earn something from the small business they own. But government came forward. After the pandemic is over, government provided them financial assistance to restart the business, to the Pradhan Mantri Sonidhi Yojana. Ujala Yojana to provide a clean source of cooking. Fine. To the rural household, urban household, poor household. Save environment, take care of the health of the female in our country. Fine. Then comes Atmanirbhar Bharat. We cannot dependent on other. Pandemic has taught us the lesson. Be self-reliant, and government is formulating policy for that Atmanirbhar Bharat. Fine. Just learn, because you are not to answer lot more. Just few things that you are to learn. 2-3 information on each of these. will suffice. Don't at all be, even if you don't know the answer, that's not a very big issue. Don't worry for that. Your knowledge has been tested to the prelim and the main. The by your response, your action and reaction, your personality, your sense of confidence, how you are cool before the board, how you are able to keep a smile in your face, that matters. Be careful for that. Have a smiling face. Response. Don't get excited. Voice should be normal. Neither pitch higher nor lower. Fine? Politeness. That matters. And your sense of empathy for others will be taken into consideration. How you will be caring for the people, because you will be given the responsibility of thousands of people under your jurisdiction, as the development officer in the block, or as the tahsildar, or as the finance officer, or as the police officer, okay, or the revenue official, or the taxation officials, or the cooperative officer, who are in the front. Poor people of Odisha, people in distress, they will come to you. How empathetic you are towards them, that will be tested. What is your reaction? How will you handle them? How you will fulfill your commitment toward the society, being given a responsible posting. That will be evaluated. Don't worry about your knowledge base, because this testing, answering different questions or putting different questions, they want to judge you, not in your knowledge. Knowledge is tested on the other sides of the things that being highlighted. Coming to some state government schemes, the Kaliya Yojana, Krisak Assistance for Livelihood Income Augmentation, Balaram Yojana to group of farmers, landless farmers. This is for the land owning small landlords, this is for the landless farmers. Then Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana, we have launched the revolutionary steps, much better than the Ayushman Bharat, launched by the central government as health insurance. 10 lakhs for the women beneficiary, normally 5 lakhs for each beneficiary, and additional 5 lakhs for the female beneficiary under the Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana, not only inside Odisha but outside Odisha to the empanel hospitals. We have Niramay Yojana, we have Nidan Yojana, lot many things are there launched by the government. Okay, from pre-medicine to pre-diagnostics, government of Odisha has been providing a lot, because our government think about our people, investing on them. We know that very well during the pandemic, how our government responded. We saved the life of lakhs by providing oxygen. We created the best health facility through the COVID hospitals. Government opened its treasury to handle the COVID, and that's why we were able to save the lives. Fine. Then come back to Biju Krisak Vikas Yojana. Then the 5T school transformation or modernization. 5T and Mo Sarkar are two important things that you have to remember. And the 5T, the new T has been added recently by the Chief Minister, called the ministers and the officers to tour, not to sit in the comfort of the Secretariat in Bhubaneswar or in their official chambers. Tour around. And you being field level officers, tour is an integral part of a daily activity. You have to tour to know the programs. So the 5T, okay, has been added. So this 5T has been added with the 6th one. Fine. The 5T has been added with a 6th one. Okay. So what is the 6th one? So 5T, technology, time, teamwork, okay, technology, time, teamwork, transparency, will lead to transformation. Ultimate aim is transformation. We'll use technology, we'll work as a with time bound manner, with a team spirit and in a transparent way. And the sixth is added, that is called tour by the officials, by the ministers to the field, because we live in the villages. Sitting in the comfort of the capital will not solve the problem. That is what the sixth has been added. Then comes Mo Sarkar is what? Program for proactive governance, grievances redressal mechanism under Mo Sarkar. Fine. Then Biju Pakka Ghar Yojana, parallel program for providing housing dwelling units. Odisha food security to cover the people left out in the National Food Security Act. The families who have been left out in the National Food Security Mission or the Act of 2013 are added in 2018 by the Odisha Food Security Act. Am I clear? Apart from this, there are lot many topics. So please, today I have exposed you to around 100 odd topics. Okay, Russia-Ukraine issue, China-Taiwan issue, okay, Afghanistan situation, India-Pakistan relation, the Indus Water Treaty, okay. So, India-Bangladesh relation, the president visit of the Bangladesh Prime Minister, the recent death of the Queen of England, the issue of Kohinoor diamond, everything. There is a possibility of being a question. Formulate 1, 2, 3 maximum information on each. And please be alert. As I told, again I am repeating before concluding today's session, ensure that you are having a pen and a small paper with you, or use your mobile. Questions will be coming to your mind frequently because you are at the highest level of alertness at present. Before the interview, so lot many questions will strike, will come to your mind. But by the time you settle to write it down, you may be forgetting it. While sleeping, while in the bathroom, while traveling, while driving, just jot it down, because they are the intuitions coming to your mind. Possibility of being asked by Viva is there. Have trust on self, trust on Almighty, carry on. You will be the ultimate ranker. We are with you. Trust on us. Just wishing to see your name in the list. We will meet in such sessions in subsequent time. We have made the arrangements. Tomorrow we will be having a special, so many students in the last 3 days you have seen with different optionals. Accordingly arranging the different special boards in the optionals. So tomorrow we will have one exclusive board for the forestry and agriculture students. Those who are in that, please, for the coming 2 days, we will have special boards with the forestry and agriculture students. So please come and attend the interview. Fine. Book your slot. Those will not find their name tomorrow because of this time limit. So don't worry for that. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow also, we will have a similar board with forest and agriculture experts. So you will be definitely included. All other options, like we have board for sociology, we have board for psychology, we have board for political science and public administration. Okay. So in due course of time, the specific optionals oriented boards as far as possible we will try to arrange. Hum hai na? Why you are worried? Have trust. Vanik has arranged, make arrangement for the entire grooming to bring the best in you. Come, feel the difference, trace out, get the rigorous training in the coming 3, 4, 5 days to bring the best out of you. And before winding up, ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟିଆ ଗପଟେ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ ଟିକେ କଷ୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Coming सप्ताह 10 दिन पर्यंत कहीं ना आपन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो कौन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होची गोटे छोट पत्थर जब पत्थर मूर्तिटा तैयारी होची तो पत्थर को कारीगर किछि हाथ हथियार पिटुचंती टू गिव द फॉर्म तो 3टा पत्थर को अणा जाइतिला प्रथम पत्थर पिटा गला सी कहला ना 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 मते काटुची प्लीज सो कारीगर ताको रखिदेला सेकेंड पत्थर ट्राई कला किछि पिटा कष्ट सहिला अधा कष्ट पाटरे कहला ना ना मते मु आउ सही पारुनी लिव मी कारीगर रखिदेला बट द थर्ड वन आपण थर्ड स्टेज रे अछन थर्ड वन बियर ऑल दी पेन्स सबु कष्ट सहिला सो कौन है मूर्ति रे परिवर्तन है भगवान को मूर्ति रे परिवर्तन है तो किए मंदिर रे पूजा पाइला जी सब कष्ट बियर कर भविष्यत पाई तो सी सबुदिन पूजा हम तार मुंडे सबुदिन क्षीर ढला हम ताको सबुदिन प्रसाद ऑफर करा जिवो ताको भल लुगारे पिंधा जिवो तापरे फूल दिया जिवो इत्यादि 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 कहीं से लाइफ रे सबुठू ता जीवन सबुठू कष्ट से सही नेला गोटे कम पीरियड पाए जमीक आप 8-10 दिन परिश्रम करेंगे बहुत परिश्रम कर थर्ड स्टेज को आस सेकेंड पत्थर जे अधा माड़ खाई रहीगला कहीं आउ कष्टा बियर कर पारानी से कौट रहा सी ठाकुर आगे रहा नड़िया पिटा हम मैंने सबुदिन तापर पिटा हम से 8 दिन कष्ट सहलानी जीवन सारा आगामी दिन मानक डेली डेली नड़िया पिटा हम जिते ठाकुर भक्त मान नड़िया नहीं आसवे से पत्थर पर पिटा हम तो जीवन सारा कष्ट पाइला बट जो पत्थरटा बिल्कुल कष्ट सहलानी प्रथम दिन कहना मत बाड़ानी मत कष्ट लगे से कौटी पड़ा तो मंदिर एंट्री पहाचे पकई दिगला तापर सबदिन लोक मैंने चढ़ी गले तो सब कष्ट किए पाइला फ्रेंड्स रियलाइज फ्रॉम दिस स्टोरी दिस इज आवर लाइफ आपण माने बहुत कष्ट करिकी एबे ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन रे अच्छा आपण पत्थर रु अधा गड़ा गोटे अधा मूर्ति हो जाइए आउ 7-8 दिन 10 दिन टी परिश्रम कर दिंतु सो ट्रांसफॉर्म योर सेल्फ फ्रॉम ए स्टोन टू एन आइडल hope this session is interesting such more sessions will be there tomorrow morning we will having a session physical session at our corporate office campus in CRP where a very renowned person who was the former secretary with the OPSC he will be coming on a voluntary basis to share some tricks for the interview. I am highly obliged for the person to give his consent that definitely our futures who are going to join the bureaucracy will be the future bureaucrats. Let them face the interview with confidence. So his experience, his expertise will definitely help you in making you more sharp because we cannot write in a new pencil unless a sharpener is used to make it tip sharp. So in this process we have arranged and we have planned to arrange many such sessions, join, get the benefit and face the interview with confidence to come with flying colors. Thank you.